Hey, friends.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're up here on the interweb.
Oh, sorry. We're kind of making a video. You're fine.
No, it's all good.
I'm not telling you guys to be quiet or nothing, but just mindful.
We're trying to get the best angle. The floor is not it, y'all. The floor is not it. All right. So, just really quick. All right. Yep, we're on.
I can move this over this too.
Okay, we're gonna keep rearranging. So this weekend, we have been in Kissimmee, Florida, at a conference called Intercourse, and that is where I met our friend. Should I put it down there? That is where I met our friend Hawk. Oh, it's gonna do what it wants to do. And I could put my coffee there or something so it holds it up. Maybe? Let's give you a head. It's all good. It's okay. Perfecto. Is it working? Perfect. All right. So, Hawk has really, it's gonna do what it wants to do.
Yeah.
Has really opened my eyes in the way that he flows, and just his presence is really different than anything that I've encountered. So I just kind of want to open up the floor to you and share your story a little bit, and anything else that you feel led to share. This is Candid Chicken. Anything goes. Feel free. It's completely open. No holds bar.
Okay. Well, it's nice. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
And how we just ended up having a conversation, and your curiosity led you to come to me and ask openly with an open mind and an open heart, which a lot of us aren't used to doing. Because it does take humility to ask questions, because that shows me that you don't know everything.
Yeah.
And usually, people know everything, so they don't ask questions. So I don't. Not that I don't like those people, but there's nothing I can give them. There's nothing I can share with them because they're already full. They already know everything. So that's a big step, going up to somebody and talking to them. And I can't take the credit for what comes out of me, or what comes out of my, as one of our friends says, out of my mouth hole. So whatever comes out, I do my best to let my heart speak and the spirit speak. And hopefully whatever we talk about hits home, hits the heart for you guys. But we met here in Florida, like she said. I was invited here by someone. Didn't really know anyone besides a couple people, and then I got to meet some beautiful angels. And it's been a gift to witness love, and to witness other people love each other, and to witness people that are pretty much strangers to a certain point, be able to hear someone else's story and not have to say anything.
Yeah.
And just hold that space of, to stay in the spirit and know you have your answers. You just need to hear yourself say them. But we're so used to responding all the time, and because we live in a world where our attention span is like, 5 seconds or 7 seconds, everybody's always so quick to respond. and we don't give someone the opportunity to hear themselves. And that's where it's at, because like yesterday, we did a video with the group session, and I didn't tell anyone anything. I didn't want to tell anyone anything, but I asked a question. And then regardless if someone answered it out loud or not, they answered it. So the truth in their heart is what convicts us.
Mm-hmm.
The truth in my heart is what convicts me. My words
Mm-hmm.
are what convicts me, but I prefer it come out of my mouth. And like I said, we're so quick to respond or to react that we don't allow people to hear themselves. Like if somebody comes up to me and they're really upset, or if they get offended and they use foul language, like they call me a bitch, I'm not going to respond to that. I'm going to do my best to stay in love so they can hear themselves and what they said.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to hold that space and that awkwardness or that uncomfortability for a little while, which is pretty much hanging on our cross when we do that. We're hanging on our cross for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, the 5,000 people that followed Jesus in the story ended up turning on him. And they're the ones that said, crucify him, crucify him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was on the cross, even the Romans that were mocking them and said, where's your God at now? Like, if you were the Son of God, why don't you get saved?
Mm-hmm.
And even he said in that moment, forgive them for they know not what they do. So that happens with us too when we're able to hold space for someone else that hates us. We're picking up our own cross and we're pretty much hanging on our cross.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's not that they really hate us. It's something that they hate within themselves, and we're either mirroring what they feel like they don't have, or we're mirroring like an action or a behavior that they have judged within. And it's an opportunity to let that surface and, hear themselves and see.
Yeah, like turning the other cheek
Mm-hmm.
in a way. If somebody comes up to you and slaps you and you don't react, you turn the other cheek, that we're not accustomed to that. That right there, something clicks in our mind. Like, why aren't you fighting back?
Mm-hmm.
And holding that space of turning the other cheek, but in love and not in fear. So I'm not scared of you to hit me again. That's not why I'm not fighting back. It's because I love you and I want you to be able to see what you're doing, and then why you're doing it. And to see if we can transcend past that and find out the core of why you're hitting me. Like, what's going on within you?
Mm-hmm.
How can I help? Which obviously you're already helping by just holding that space.
Yeah. I'm going to just try to adjust this again so that you have more than just floating eyeballs. Is that working? There we go. Yeah. One thing that I was really drawn to and have been really drawn to you about is your balance that you have with that femininity and that masculinity within you. Because you definitely hold space very well. And you are assertive in your thoughts and your feelings, and you stand strong within your frame. And I've seen people try to, not try, but like say things to you, and you're like I can see it fall, but it doesn't like oppress you. It doesn't hold you down. You stand and you just kind of let those things fall and settle. And then you have this amazing way of just being able to speak and bring truth in such a peaceable, calm manner. That has really, if I had to sum up my takeaway of you in this weekend, that's really been it. I mean, you're so much more than that, but like that's what you've really mirrored for me in such a beautiful way. I didn't realize how much I still fought all of that stuff when they would try to put that on me, like try to fight to get off, when really you get to stand as that cloud and just let it all fall. There's no resistance. There's nothing in you that wants to pick up that offense, that wants to and I'm over here. I wasn't even aware that I was still in a sense shadow boxing, trying to fight all of these things when they're really not mine to deal with anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, to add on to that, in the story of Christ in the Gospels, and I'm not preaching religion at all, but there's people that have come to this earth that have been a great example, not because they want to be leaders or because they want to be worshipped, but they've been such a great example of how to walk in love. And to me, a great example is Jesus, the story of Christ. And he didn't want to be a leader. He just was what he was. Just like with me, I don't want to be a leader. I just am what I am. And if I believe my truth is so good, well, let me walk it. And people are just going to see it, and they're going to do what they do. Either they're going to ask the questions like they did to him. And I'm just saying this because I know there's a lot of people that have been pretty much raped in the church.
Yeah.
And not just physically. That's why I'm saying this, going into the story of Christ, because to me, in the story of Christ, he's the master. Or Jesus, he mastered the flesh, and he allowed the master, which is the spirit within us, to walk his vessel. And you got to be empty enough to allow the spirit to fully consume and walk it out. So in his story, with that being said, in his story, at the end of a lot of his sermons or conversations, he would say, does it offend you? What am I saying offending you? Because he was triggering people. Just like earlier we were having a conversation, and someone we were talking with said, and I'm not quoting her, but she was basically saying, like, this might trigger you guys. And to me, it's like, bring it on. Because if it's triggering me, I want to know why it's triggering me. Because at the end of the day, if it's not truth, why is it bothering me? Why is it triggering me? And that's the big thing. Because people get offended. But if it's not truth, why are you being offended? And if you are being offended, is it true? That's when humility has to come in and say, maybe it is true. Because the lie cannot stand on its own. That's why a lot of these pastors, they speak, but they need the people in the church to agree with what they're saying to hold them up. But Yeshua, when he spoke, Jesus, he didn't care if anybody agreed with him or not. He just said, those that have ears to hear, let them hear. Because what he knew was truth. Because he knew what he was. He knew what he was, like, no doubt about it. So whenever somebody would want to come and say things to him that weren't truth, they just went over. They just went around him. Like, that's not mine. And he didn't have to defend himself at all. And, I mean, you've been able to witness that, like you said, through me. People saying things to me, but I know they're not true. So I don't need to defend myself, and I don't need to get offended by it. And if I do, I want to look at myself and say, why? Why am I getting offended by it? Because I've seen a lot of people in this past, whatever we want to call it, event or gathering that we've had, people here, I've seen people be triggered. I've seen a lot of, I've seen women still be triggered by the man's world. And that's that still getting to know ourselves. Because why is it triggering me? Why?
Yeah, and that has really been the discovery for me this weekend. I didn't realize that I had all of that stuff, and it wasn't until I was here and was being triggered. I thought I've been doing really well, letting things pass me. I heard someone say exactly what you said, but the example that they gave was, if someone calls you a 50-year-old tree, you're like, that means nothing to me, because there's no lie attached within me that says, that that's my identity. But if someone calls you a fat whore and it triggers you, you're like, you want to defend that, or you want to, that's not who I am. But if there was no truth in that within you, then it would fall the same way that they called you a 50-year-old tree, And I didn't realize how much I was triggered by the man's worlds until this weekend. And I've received, so much healing and breakthrough because I didn't realize that I had all that anger and resentment within me. So I'm super grateful for the atmosphere, and all of the triggers to be able to go within and lay it down,
Yeah, because there was times where in Jeshua's ministry, they said, "Oh, that's Beelzebub. You're the devil." And he never said, "No, I'm not the devil." No, he didn't say that. He knew he wasn't.
Yeah.
He knew what he was. And like you said, a fat whore. So, in a way, I am a fat whore for them because they say I am. And because I am for them, but I don't receive that. And people don't know how to handle a non-reaction. And the lie will dissipate. Because if somebody wants to fight with me, and if I can hold that space, they'll leave. And the reason why they'll leave is because I'm not going to feed them. I'm not going to feed that false lie. Because the only way anger can stay alive is for more anger. But if I'm not going to give them that anger, they're going to leave. Because they're going to go get it somewhere else.
That's powerful.
But to me, love is the source. So I don't need you to love me. I already have it. But I do need you to hate me if I am hate. Because it's a lie. It doesn't stand on its own.
Wow. That's good.
It's truth.
Yeah. That's probably why it tastes so good.
So people can go up to you and say whatever they want to you, but it doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to take their shit either. I'll leave.
Yeah.
But if it's someone that I love, and I hope that they can transcend past that, and if I have to hang on my cross or turn the other cheek, if the Father puts it on my heart to do it, then I'll do it. To be obedient to Him, and also because I do hope that they free themselves from whatever it is they're in. But that's a moment-to-moment case, and every situation is different. And there's some situations where the Father says, "Go, walk away. You don't need to be a part of that."
Yeah. I think that's really important also to give people permission to know that you don't have to take their shit. You don't have to stay in that in the name of love. I feel like another lie that we've learned in the church is to be a doormat for those people, and I need to love you more than I love me, in the sense that I'm going to just let you shit all over me and I'm going to stand here and take it. It is a case-by-case situation, and you have to, have those ears to know when to do things and when to move and all of that. But you do have permission to shake the shit off and walk away.
And the lie is very uncomfortable with silence. Very uncomfortable with silence. The truth isn't. I love how you just crawled over here, but then you walked.
We totally are.
But it's fine. And going back to the, I have a YouTube channel, and the title is "Love is Silent." And the way that Yeshua would expel demons is he would ignore them. He would give them no life because they don't exist.
Yeah.
And the lie needs your energy to survive, to stay alive, to continue to be the delusion. It can't be on its own. So, and that's the hardest thing, is to embrace the awkwardness in the moment, and be okay with it. And it's going to make them feel uncomfortable if they're in the lie. And that's why, like, people, when they meditate, they don't have to speak when they meditate. They're just here now. But if we could be able to master that, or at least remain disciplined in that, then nothing will bother you. That you can literally walk this whole world without saying anything. And for me, the only reason I need to speak is if the lie is present. But the truth doesn't need to speak, because the truth is, it already knows.
Mm.
So if the lie is present, I am going to speak. Or I'm not going to speak and just be silent. And they will leave because the unawkwardness is going to literally banish them. They won't be able to be around that frequency alone because they're not in it.
Mm.
And I've seen a lot of, like I said, I've seen people get triggered by it here. And yesterday we were having a really good conversation about women and men. And I was interested by it because why does it still bother people? And in this case, women, because women brought it up. And I understand why they brought it up. But at the same time, nobody, from my eyes, nobody. It didn't seem like anybody was suppressing women at this gathering, or not allowing them to speak, even though the majority of the speakers, like 90% of the people that actually took the stage and spoke, were men.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing that I really appreciated about Adrienne when she was like, no, it's not their responsibility to give us space. It's our responsibility to take the space and say, like you said, no one was doing. I think it is just we kind of fell into those subconscious roles, and it became evident that those lies are still there.
And somebody said, you men have to empower the women.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, I don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if I think that you have to do something for me,
mm-hmm.
then that means that I just gave you the power and I need you to give me peace.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not my truth. I don't need anyone to give me peace. I don't need anyone to give me love. I don't need anyone to do anything for me because I have everything within me. The source is within me, and the source will do all that for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the delusion of that I need to be empowered by something outside of me.
Yeah. I'm like totally feeling the frequencies on that. I'm getting drunk. That's good. So often we give our power away, and I think it's even unaware, like that. I need you to do this. The first night we were talking, you said, love, oh, maybe it wasn't the first night, second night, whenever. You said, love does not expect. Love, I cannot expect you to do something for me. That's not love, that's selfishness. And that was so eye-opening for me. I don't think we realize
Oh, no, I haven't done it.
how often...
Come on, sweetie.
I don't think we realize how often we expect things from other people, unaware that that's what we're doing. That we put that expectation out there. And I think sometimes it's a fine line, personally, between I've wondered, how do I walk this and expect from Papa God, that he's going to fulfill the promises and all of those things, but not take advantage of that. Do you have...
With expectations comes disappointment.
Mm.
And I don't like disappointment because if I'm disappointed, then I don't accept the moment that is.
Mm.
And if I don't accept the moment that is, then that means that I'm not in peace. Because with peace comes acceptance. And with acceptance comes peace. So I have to accept whatever is in the moment to be at peace.
That's powerful.
Whatever it is. So I switched up this saying that goes, let me be at peace with the things that I cannot change, but give me the wisdom and courage and strength to change the things that I can.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can change it, let me change it. But if I can't, let me be at peace with it.
Mm.
Let me accept what is. Let me embrace the moment, whatever it is. Because also expectations is not now. Expectation is in the future, which isn't real. All that is real is now.
Mm-hmm.
So if I expect, and there's still, there might be times where I still have expectations and not be realized that I do, but expectations is not presence. It's not present. So then that means to me it's not truth, because truth is present. The spirit is present now. So having an expectation for me will bring anxiety. And to me, anxiety is not peace.
Yeah.
So then it's not truth.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not truth, it's not what I am.
That's good. You're so wise.
The wisdom comes. The wisdom is granted. You can't learn it. And in this event too, I heard a lot about knowledge. But knowledge is from this earth, from this world. Wisdom is from above. Wisdom is granted. And the only way wisdom is granted is if we're humble enough to say we don't know anything. So the wisdom, you said I'm wise, well, that's wisdom that's given to me. It's not me. So credit all to the Father.
Absolutely.
For granting it, which you can have. And that's the beauty of the John 17 when he says, everything I have is yours.
Amen.
So if you want this wisdom, receive it. You don't have to take it. Because to me, taking isn't love either.
Yeah.
You don't need to take it, it's yours. You
Thanks.
can receive it.
I receive it.
And it's easy, it's just easy words like that
Mm-hmm.
that'll keep us in delusion.
Yeah. I didn't realize until you said the other night. I was like, yeah, I'm going to take that for myself. You were like, you don't have to take it. It's yours. You can have it. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even realize that was still that same thought process that like I don't have, so I need to obtain, and I'm going to take it from the outside and empower myself,
Yeah, because you have it.
Yeah.
So why are you taking it?
Yeah.
Just basically unlock it. And with easy words like taking and receiving, we are going to, and we are disentangling that within us so we can change that up because of all the stuff that we've gone through. And, especially a lot of us growing up in the churches, there's a lot of entanglement that we have that is being entangled right now. And a lot of us, we know that we compare it to like our DNA. DNA is changing. And it's a real discipline. We have to really be disciplined at every moment, every day to want to heal and change our DNA, change our ways.
Yeah.
But I learn as I speak. Like seriously. So sometimes, some people might think, or maybe this is just me reflecting it, that I think I know everything. But it's like, no, you're giving me the opportunity also to speak, to allow the Spirit to speak. And then there's times where I'm just like, wow, thank you, Father, for giving me that, which they receive too.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
that's why wisdom, remaining in humility to know that, hey, this is not for me. So then the wisdom keeps coming because I'm not taking it in vain and saying it's me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's truth.
What has been your biggest takeaway from this weekend?
Seeing how loved I am. Seeing how loved I am and how much our Father loves us and how He's showing it through others. So we can see it for ourselves, that it's in us. But, in my story, He's showing me outside how much He loves me. And seeing what in the last 2 years that I've been knowing deep in my heart that's coming, seeing it come to pass and seeing it in front of me. And having the, feeling like I'm not worthy to have this love because it's so powerful. Like how how is it that I deserve this?
Mm. Wow.
And this has been because I've gathered with people before, and had gatherings like this before, and I've said, see you later to people, and yeah, I felt some type of way, like, oh, I'm gonna miss them, but I feel like at the time we're in now, it's so much more palpable and so much stronger,
Mm-hmm.
and it was hard to say goodbye to certain people or
Mm-hmm.
say see you later,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never felt this connection with the people that I have been felt
Mm-hmm.
like I have now, but it's not even the people. It's just the Spirit of Christ, which is the Spirit of our Father, of how strong it is now, right now, in this time, right now.
Mm-hmm.
How it's so palpable that it was hard to say bye to the flesh of the people that are carrying the love in them.
Mm-hmm. I found myself this weekend with the love thing. Saying I love you didn't feel adequate. It was, I was like, I found myself saying like, wow, I'm so in love with you. Like, it, the love has definitely been uber palpable. And I'm really grateful for the atmosphere that held me even in all my triggers, that allowed me to feel safe enough to open up and express, and let those lies surface, and still have so much love.
To me, like, I'm in love with you, but I want to make sure that I don't make it fleshly.
Mm-hmm,
so
sure.
By that I mean there's a bubble,
Mm-hmm.
and this bubble is love,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in that bubble of love,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in that bubble of love, and we're in love.
Yeah. Yes.
And in that way, it helps us to not corrupt the love.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm already in love. Who else wants to be in love?
Yeah.
And by being in love, we're all in love.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just being aware of the in love. So often we attribute those words, in love. Oh, Mason, careful, buddy. There's stairs right there. Come over here. Yeah, that is a stick, huh? Can you come this way? Here. Here you go. Oh, uh-oh. All right. Well, Mason has a pool stick, so if I get hit in the head,
I'll take that.
Thank you. I feel like we should get ready to wrap this up. Oh!
Careful, Mason. Sure. I mean, we could talk all day.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to share? Any last?
For us to... I know there's so many people right now that haven't experienced, not even so little of what love is in their life right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely feel for them. And it's not good.
There's children.
It's all good.
He's like, I'm not letting go of the stick.
Yes, I would like to end it with, for anybody that is watching this, and including you, whatever it is that you heard, because I've seen people, and I'm like, I want that. I see there's not many, but there's been a few people that I see the peace that they're in, and the truth that they're in, and I can feel it in their word, and if I'm close to them, I can feel it in their frequency,
Mm-hmm.
and I want that. I want that peace that passes all understanding. But I have that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It doesn't have to be. I can't get it. I can receive it, but at the same time, I'm just receiving. Even receiving is just an illusion, because it's in me.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just unlock what's in me, So I just want to say, you know, all I have, you have. Because all I have is in the Father. And all that my Father has is in me. And all that is in me is in you.
Amen.
So anything that you see, you have.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it takes me to witness it,
Mm-hmm.
to be like, hey, I know you're no more special than me. And you're no less special than me. So if you could do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm. I've received, not received, but unveiled so much within me, because sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And it's not until we witness it in someone else and it's like, oh wow, that is lacking from my, not really that, but that is, I'm unaware of that within me. I'm unaware that I have those capabilities. And it's like I see it, so I desire it. And then it's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to see it if it wasn't already within. I wouldn't be able to vibe with that. So it's just an unlocking and becoming aware of what you already carry and who you already are.
Yes. And I'm really loving right now how you're taking every thought captive. And I can see it. I can see you're taking every thought captive because you're creating your reality as you speak.
Mm-hmm.
And even like you said, you were gonna say received it and you changed it. Mm-hmm. And you said unveiled. Mm-hmm. And that's great and that's a part of it. Taking every word captive of what we're going to create. Mm-hmm. I was gonna add something else to that, but it went away. So.
Sorry.
And that's all good. It'll come back if it needs to.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this and this conversation and opening it up to all of our friends. I really appreciate your time.
It's been a blessing being here and sharing time with you. Doing this video right now, and you said that you haven't been doing this for a while and you wanted to shut it down, but obviously it's not meant to be for you to do that right now. Mm-hmm. So it's been a pleasure to start it off back again with you. And if this is what you're meant to do, continue to do it. And I know you're gonna take this with you, and you're gonna see it. You're gonna see what you experience here when you go back or when you go wherever you're going.
Yes.
And you've grown a lot, and it takes a little while to digest the truth and to make it what is already us, but to let it just completely take over us, and then it becomes us, and then you become the Word made flesh. You embody that word, whatever that word is, peace. So.
All right, friends. Well, y'all be blessed and have a phenomenal day. Definitely check out his YouTube channel, Love is Silent. Yeah.
I don't really, I haven't really been doing a lot of videos because I've been working on myself, and I feel this is just me talking to myself. Like, what do you have to give right now? You don't really have anything. You have to figure it out first, and then start sharing. But if you guys go back to the old videos that I did a couple years ago while I was learning, as I was doing, and as I was being, pretty much there are conversations like this with myself or with the audience, to master the word, to become the word. So even if you wanted to watch past videos, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Are you available any other place or?
I am on Instagram, and usually Instagram is where I stay more active. So if you guys want to go on Instagram, it's _Hawk 303. Hawk, HAWK 303, _Hawk 303. So mostly I'll go on there, and that's where I stay the most active for now.
Awesome. Thanks for making yourself available to us and for us. Amen. Well, y'all be blessed. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
Love you guys.